Hello, you're very welcome. My name is Aveen and I'm an intuitive soul coach. Back in 2018, it was February 2018, I was living in Sligo at the time and I began to receive information about how human beings' chakra system, the central meridians, not the overall chakras, like we have hundreds of chakra points, little portals, if you want to call them, or vortices all over our body and also in our energy body. But I was told that the main 7 chakras that most people recognize would be changing and that we were evolving as a species, and this was a continuation of the ascension process, which had accelerated and really took off in 2012 into 2013. So this was 2018. I was shown bits of this in late 2017, but I actually recorded a video. I remember doing it, and I remember it was about how certain chakras were beginning to fuse together. And recently, really in the last maybe 2 months, the nameless ones, the angelic collective that I'm a channel for, or source energy, I mean, that's why they call themselves the nameless ones, because they don't wish to, well, first of all, they say we don't have a name because we don't need a name, because we are all that is, and all that is us. So we're really nameless. They used to come to me as a child under the name of Shiog or Shioga, and that was just to make it more personable, to personalize this conglomerate of angelic pure frequency of spirit, of source. So they showed me in the last 2 months that for the souls who are embodying now the 5th dimensional consciousness, and I take a bet that if you're here watching this video, you are part of the 5th dimensional consciousness and reality now. You've shifted into, you've gone through that portal. And speaking of portals, there will be another portal next week, but I'll talk about that another time. So many of you showed an interest in my previous video to know this information. So basically, I started to see in myself and others that the chakras as separate energy vortexes were merging, blending, and turning into this white column of light. And you know, I'm somebody who loves color, and I always loved teaching. I'm a meditation teacher, so I always loved teaching the chakra system using color. And you know, we'd talk about like the solar plexus chakra, and that's yellow, and we connect with yellow, and I'd often maybe use the symbol of a yellow flower, and we're drawing in yellow energy. But I said to the angels, oh, so I noticed that the separate chakras and the separate colors, you know, you have red, orange, yellow, green, go on, you know, and so on. It's like it's white. And then I was shown and remembered that white light is, and it encompasses all the colors. You know, white light is a combination of every color in one. And I remember years ago in school, there was some scientific experiment where they had, you might put this in the comments if you know what I'm referring to, but it was something like they had a prism and they shone the, I don't they shone white light through and then all the chakra, the rainbow colors came out the other side, or they put the colors, all the color spectrum in and white light came out. But basically it was this beautiful, I actually loved seeing the images from this experiment because it was very spiritual. You know, you could see the rainbow, you could see all the colors together represented. Like the rainbow is a representation of all the diversity, all the energies in the one bracket, in the one bandwidth of energy, of consciousness. And in my recent video on rainbow children, that's what they encompass, right? They're all about inclusivity. They're all about integration and togetherness. So that's what's happening within us as we evolve, as humanity evolves in consciousness. We are now becoming white light. So the need to have separate vortexes of energy, separate portals of colors, because colors are vibration, right? Color is vibration, it's frequency, it's got a quality to it. And that's why we'd say the heart chakra is connected to your emotional body, it's connected to your relationships, it's the color green, it's the color of the heart. We would say the solar plexus being yellow is about power, it's about purpose, it's about knowing your place in the world and your confidence. And people who have high up stomach issues or diaphragm issues often have leakage of power and things like that. What we are stepping into, and this has been happening since when I first reported about this in early, like February 2018. It was February or March 2018. This has been like we've been changing, we've been adapting to these changes as we've gone along. So that's why many of us have had a really tough time with physical symptoms, you know. And disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, don't want to be a doctor, not claiming to be a doctor. If you're having pain and if you're not well, obviously I have to say that go and see a practitioner, go and see a physician. But I'm talking about those things that are not, those mysterious ailments or symptoms that are not explained through getting your bloods done or seeing a doctor. We can have a lot of stomach pain, headaches, there can be dizziness, there can be mood swings, there can be all kinds of crazy stuff that is an expression of these changes, this evolving nature of our bodies. See, we think of our bodies, well, I don't, but some people think of their bodies as these solid things, you know, like dense matter. I've always felt my body is very fluid and changeable, and I've always respected that it needs to be flowing. It's an energy flowing thing. It's not set into stone. So we've actually unconsciously, just like when we hit puberty and our body started to change, we had mood swings, the hormones were changing, so we were starting to spurt and grow in places we never had lumps and bumps before and all this kind of stuff. It's very, very similar to that. And I think it's funny how we think that puberty or those big changes start at a certain age and end at a certain age, because really as energy beings that's just not true. We're always in puberty in some shape or form, or not puberty, but we're always in, I'm using puberty as an example, in that state of flux and change. So obviously at other times and certain times in our life that becomes more pronounced, right? So you could say, like I'm in my 40s, there's a pronounced change going on. I believe it's a second type of puberty where there's a massive need to adapt to the intense internal and external changes going on in my consciousness, which then is reflected through my body, right? So, or you could say I believe that men, when they usually hit their 50s, will go through what a woman goes through in her early 40s or mid to late 40s. And I'm not talking menopause here. I'm actually talking about the energy, because that's my craft is energy, right? I'm an energy healer. So I'm talking about actual spiritual consciousness shifts and changes. And then obviously the body, being an extension of the spirit, is going to mirror and reflect that back. So we are now living and expressing ourselves and going through our day with this column of light. But what's really important, and this is the most important part of this message, is that you're able to imagine expanding this column of light. So that's the next phase of this evolution, right? We've blended, we've merged, we've blended, we've become this conglomerate of all the colors in one. Now we have to learn, and now we have to adapt to actually functioning in our lives, in our world, in our 5D realities as these beautiful, bright columns of spiritual light. And it's a returning, it's like we are remembering, we are returning to our true nature. And you may have heard me in many of my videos talking about how the carbon body has become more crystalline. And that's what this is. It's that crystal, think of like a white crystal, like a quartz crystal. It's becoming brighter, it's becoming clearer. We've moved through since 2012, 2013, which that's when a lot of people tell me they had their major awakening. That's when a lot of people say they really felt their soul come online, if you will. But and it doesn't matter when you had your awakening, right? People can get very attached to that time, and that, I believe we're having many awakenings all the time. I believe that we are, again, it's not like you reach a certain point and you stop growing energetically. It's just not like that. It's not like what the doctor says, oh, well, puberty will end when you're 18, 19. No, we're always changing, we're always growing, we're always moving through this. So, I was speaking to someone and they were saying that they didn't feel the same since they had entered parenthood. And I said, why would you expect to feel the same? We're not supposed to feel the same as we did yesterday or last week. So why would you think, after having this major spiritual initiation, this becoming a father, becoming a mother, becoming this whole big soul role that you signed a contract to, that you're going down this incredible spiritual avenue, why would you expect, or why would you want to stay the same? I would be concerned if you stayed the same, because the whole point of having that human experience was that you would change and that you would transform and that you would face squarely the fears and the beauty of this initiation and become that. So we've definitely, in this year of 2024, we've gone through a massive initiation in March and April. We have May coming up, which I really like the energy for May. It's softer. It's even though it's not slow, it's softer. So it's really important that we learn to work with this energy, and that we embrace it, and that we understand that within this white column of light, that's our aura, we are all the colors. and that we have mastered all the colors, and that we have, and if you don't feel you've mastered them, when I say mastered them, I don't mean you dominated them. I don't mean you've conquered them, right? That's a very 3D aggressive way of seeing it. I'm talking about you've lived them. You've lived through each chakra phase. And, you know, I remember when I used to do a lot of painting, I would go through these color phases. I would just be obsessed with blue, and then I'd be obsessed with pink for like a year, and then I would go through a yellow phase, and also it would reflect in my clothes. You can even see it in my videos. You can literally see, oh, Avine's having an orange phase. Avine's going through a blue phase here. It's so reflective of what I was feeling. Like the orange phase is very sensual and full of vitality and health and well-being, and it's very sexual, it's very co-creative, it's romantic, right? And you know, the green phase will be more emotional and more grounded and earthy, and you can see this. So, but what I mean is, by us being in the white light, it means that your energy has learned to integrate these colors. That's it. You've learned to integrate and assimilate these frequencies. So they've become the one. And one of the principles of the universe is that all is one, one is the all. So you're becoming more whole. We're entering a time of more wholeness, more oneness. And you're going to see this reflected in social media. You're going to see this reflected in your world, in the people you meet, in your community, in your colleagues, in your children. People want something that is real. They want something that's whole, that's holistic, that is not just this or that. It's this and that. It's all of it together. It's not just, well, you can be on the left or you can be on the right. No, you can be left and right, all integrated together. And I think this is a beautiful symbol of how we as the human race have evolved and have ascended, and how we don't want that dualistic, warlike, which side are you on, which party do you support. You can even see this in young people's sexuality. They don't want to be this way or that way. They want all of it. They want all of it. So there is this energy towards more integration. I have a lot more to say on this. It's actually my birthday in 2 days, and because my birthday's on a Monday, I'm celebrating it this weekend as best I can. And those of you who know, I've had a major reaction to something, and I was throwing up all week. So I'm just taking it easy, step by step right now. But I definitely want to say thank you to Jessica for that. Your message actually brought tears. It was very emotional, and it was really, really sweet. And like you said, and this too shall pass. And it's one of my favorite spiritual sayings. And it's the same with the chakra system. It's the same with our auras. And this too shall pass, right? The way we once were when we were 5 years of age, we looked very different. Our bodies were very different. Our minds were different. And this too shall pass. Well, it's the same even with this white column of light. We will evolve beyond that. We'll eventually evolve, by the way, towards not needing physical bodies anymore. That's where this ascension is heading. We'll actually go back into consciousness. We're always returning home. But it's important that we live out each phase, and we live out each beautiful fractal and aspect of our lives, of our evolution fully, so that we can, when we're ready, close the door on that and move on to the next phase. And right now it's about integration, wholeness. It's that bright white light. It's beautiful, and I'm so happy to share this information with you. If you enjoyed this kind of content, please be kind and give me a like, subscribe, share it with someone you think it might be of interest with, and that will help me as well to meet more people and to connect more, because I would love to expand this, and I would love to be available to dive deep into these things through a Zoom call or through a class. So show me that there's an interest in that by clicking the like. And look, I hope you have a beautiful last few days to your April. I know it's been really intense. Thank you to all your comments. You're such sweet, kind, generous, heartfelt comments. It always makes me feel that we're part of a community of souls who are awake together and who get this, because the spiritual journey can be a lonely journey, so it's always lovely to connect. And the nameless ones send you blessings of light. Be the light. You are the light. Namaste.